Well, it is another Tuesday night. It is 6:30, and it is time now for another exciting edition of the Muskogee Refer Football Coaches Show. We're each and every Tuesday night from 6:30 till just past the top of the hour at 7. We talk all things Muskogee Refer Football. Going to kind of change the lay of the show tonight because we're going to go 2 for 1 in our first couple of segments. Our first segment, I'm going to welcome in two guys that have been part of Rougher football, have been part of the community of Muskogee their entire lives. To my immediate left is the one and only Anthony McNack. No, it's Macnack. Am I right? It's not McNack, it's Macnack. And then to his left is the ever-popular Donald Mays.
Somewhat popular.
Junior, right? Senior. Two guys that have grown up here in Muskogee and have lived the life of a rougher and have enjoyed it every single day. We'll talk a little bit more about that in our next segment. But, guys, let's first look back to last week. The ball game against Sand Springs. It was a ball game in which Muskogee came in along with the Sandites undefeated in league play. And, Anthony, I know when the night was over, the Roughers would like to have had another quarter or two.
Yeah, we came out. The kids were excited, came out, we played hard. The fans had Rougher Village packed and had it really amped up. And, we just a couple of plays here and there what cost us on the defensive side and led to the loss. But, we'll bounce back. We got Sepulveda coming up, and, kids came out today and yesterday had a good practice. So we're ready.
Saw a little bit stronger influence to the running game last week, Don. I know that's your position that you coach the running backs. Talk to me about how that evaluated when the night was done.
Well, the running game is starting to show up more. We've been able to get Chaplin and some of the other running backs a little bit more carries. Offensive line is doing a great job now, opening up holes. So we're still working, but he's been having some pretty good games so far.
But as an offensive running back there early in the ball game, when you see your starting center go down with a knee injury and you have to put somebody in the place, and it really is kind of the second – I don't want anything disrespectful to the young man that got in there, but, let's face it, the backup to Hunter going into the ball game was sidelined with a concussion protocol. So,
yes.
It was – find a jersey that fits, right?
Right. Without question, we had we had to get somebody. But again, Coach Dvorak does a good job with trying to get those guys in, try to get them reps. We was able to get the center in there and finish the game. So Hunter, he was a big loss. So
indeed, it was. Now, Anthony, on the defensive side, your defensive front, linebackers and safeties had a challenge, perhaps one of the toughest challenges since the first or maybe the second, third games of the year with Rogers and Bentonville West, because the quarterback, Easton Webb, the receiver, Dom Forbes, and then the running back, Tristan Birmingham, that was a three-headed monster for the Roughers.
Yeah, trying to, make sure that number 2 doesn't beat us deep, and then, trying to make sure we keep Easton contained, and then, trying to contain Tristan was a difficult task. We held up as much as we could. Like I said, extremely proud of the way the kids played. They played hard. I don't have the cookie magic like Dvorak has, where he can sprinkle cookie dust on folks to make some things happen.
Don't get me talking about the dust being sprinkled anywhere. We'll just leave that for another situation. But you guys have been around here long enough. You've lived in this situation that the Roughers find themselves in now. Your backs are to the wall. If you want to host a first-round playoff game, it's a must-win situation Friday night, Don.
Well, once again, and I'm going to say it, there's nothing tougher than the Rougher. We've been here before, and guess what? We made it out of it and put ourselves in a better position. A couple of years ago, we lost to Stillwater for the district championship, but we were able to bounce back and got to the big game. So, of course, with Coach Condict, with his experience and Coach Fine with his knowledge, Coach Brian, hey, we're going to put these kids in a great position to be successful and hopefully put a good product out there on Friday night.
For those that maybe are wondering, where is Dale Condict? I've been told he's on a recruiting trip. Because he's out recruiting 8th and 9th graders tonight.
Yeah.
Am I right, Anthony?
Yeah, you got to watch that, though. You know.
No. Hey, I said it the right way. He's on a recruiting trip because he's recruiting 8th and 9th grade football players to play on the varsity level. They're playing their final regular season game at home tonight against Sand Springs. And I'm sure after winning the junior varsity game last night, this is kind of the rubber match, right, Mac?
Oh, yeah. You know, we're trying to get, above 500. Right now we're 500 with them, 1-1. But, anytime you can get up on Sand Springs, that's a good thing. So, Coach Condict's out there, that was going to be his first game to get and sit and watch our junior high programs play. He's been around them, going out checking on them. So now he gets to see the product on the field firsthand and get to evaluate, coaches and players and what they do, and get to see who we want to bring up to the next level after the season's over with.
Muskogee Friday night will travel to Sapulpa. We're going to take a time out. When we come back, we're going to continue this threesome here. Myself along with Anthony McDuck and Don Mays. We're going to call it, instead of the Dale Condict Show, we're going to call it the M&M Show. And we'll explain more about that as we move along into our second segment. But first, this time out, we're live from Runts Barbecue on the Tuesday night Muskogee Rougher Football Coaches Show.
Result of a car accident? Has your family been impacted by the death of a loved one caused by someone else's negligence? Whatever you're dealing with, you don't have to face it alone. At 222 Injury Lawyers, our dedicated personal injury attorneys are here to fight for the justice and compensation you deserve. Call 918-528-0222.
Proudly serving the elderly of the Muskogee community, Broadway Care Rehabilitation Center is a skilled nursing facility empowering better living through long-term care as well as many other respite care options. And coming soon to Broadway through long-term care as well as many other respite care options. And coming soon to Broadway, the Memory Care Unit. At Broadway Care Rehabilitation, the amazing therapy department can help you or your loved one get back on their feet. Contracted with most major insurances, follow them on Facebook and see many of the enriching activities offered to the residents. Broadway Care Rehabilitation Center, proud to support the Muskogee Roughers.
The world of education is driven by numbers. So is the one company more schools and universities call on when fire or water damage strikes. 1-800-SERVPRO. The #1 choice in commercial cleanup and restoration.
When it matters most. The name to remember? ServPro of Muskogee. 918-913-4490. Online at servpro.com.
There's never been a better time to find a great deal on a sedan, truck, or crossover at Nissan of Muskogee. Call 918-683-6605 or go to nissanofmuskogee.com. There's never been a better time to find a great deal on a sedan, truck, or crossover at Nissan of Muskogee. Call 918-683-6605 or go to nissanofmuskogee.com.
Welcome back to the Tuesday night Muskogee Rougher Football Coaches Show. We're live from Runts Barbecue in Muskogee, where it's a little better barbecue and it's a whole lot bigger plate when Anthony Macnack shows up. I mean, he doesn't come in through the front door, Don Mays, like you and I did.
Yeah, no.
He comes in through the kitchen door. And Anthony, I've been told, I've never gone back to check, but I understand you have your own menu up on the wall back there and you just walk in and point to it.
No, that's not true. There's some stuff.
Well, explain to us why you came in through the back door and talked with the chef before you came out here.
Because it was raining outside.
But that has nothing to do with the front door. I came through the same way, brother.
And brown sugar melt when it get wet, so I didn't want to.
It also floats too.
Wow.
I didn't want to get, I didn't want to get wet. It was easy for me to go through the back door. So
yeah, right. Well, explain to us what this monstrosity of a pile of meat that was on your plate. Now, what you have not seen is the man devoured a huge bowl, and I don't mean just a cupful like my beans and potato salad were in. I'm talking about a full-size, man-sized bowl of okra before you ever got to the food.
Yeah, I love okra. Yeah, Runts had some of the best okra I ever had. That fried okra is pretty good. But now I got a smoked half chicken that was deep fried. So trying
Don,
something different.
You ordered straight from the menu.
Straight from the menu.
And what was it that delighted your taste buds here tonight.
Well, you can't tell because he didn't even eat half of it. He's wasting his food over there.
He's waiting for the timeout when he sits on the side. He's going to go to the sidelines here in a minute.
3-meat combo. So Runts has some great catfish, great burnt ends.
Yep.
Burnt ends.
Great ribs.
They do.
So that's what I got with the macaroni and cheese.
And the French fries.
And I was going to leave that out, but yeah, and the French fries.
Which are always really, really good. I actually stole a couple off Don's plate before we go on. Okay, guys.
He cornbread checked Don for his fork.
I said a moment ago, these are two young men, and I'll use the word lightly, young men, because I know the age of both of you. You're not as old as me, because that's kind of like dirt, but you guys have spent your entire life growing up in Muskogee, and I know there's not a person that knows you that doesn't know that you guys talk Muskogee, live Muskogee, breathe Muskogee, and obviously you eat Muskogee. I mean, what has it been like for the two of you guys to be a Muskogee Rougher? Don, I'm going to start with you because you're the oldest of the two guys here.
Facts.
Not because of beauty, but because of age.
Well, age and beauty.
No,
but listen, being a rougher is I can't even really find the words for it. I live and breathe this rougher green. It's my life. My grandson Zakari. Hey Zakari, would you be watching? Pop. Anyway, I even got him on. He loves rougher TV. So even to my grandkids, they love it. I mean, I'm a rougher. I mean, this town, this city, the people, it's me.
Anthony, I had a chance to, and you spoke with Nick Hampton, who also helps out on our broadcast, but he also writes for my magazine, Vibe, and he shared some time with you and your brothers about what it's like to be Roughers for life.
Yeah. Well, Don has a lot more experience on the age bracket. I mean, you have to realize Don started playing football for the Roughers like right after integration. So he was.
Now wait a minute. No. The man graduated in 1992.
No.
But he was on that first airplane trip of his life to St. Louis, and he was gripping the handles.
Yes.
And when they got out, they had to replace the grips on the handles because there were fingerprints on them.
That's what he loved to tell people. But he played when they had the leather helmets, no face mask.
That's why he looks the way he does.
That's why he looks like that. That's why he has the gold tooth. It was knocked out back then. I remember when I first met Don. He was.
Yeah, because I understand the truth is that Anthony, you and your brothers grew up wanting to play rougher football just like Don and Ron Mace.
April Fools. Yeah, that's
true.
This. Okay, so
you guys grew up wanting to play rougher football.
We grew up wanting to play football,
just like the two brothers.
We would go to Indian Bowl, and you would see, the first time I met Don was not on the football field. Actually, the first time I met Don, him and his brothers were in a rap group. They were called.
Oh wait a minute! Yeah, I was going to get to that.
What y'all, the Mute Boys? What was y'all?
Was it the New Boys?
The New Boys. What was it called? What was y'all?
What was the name of the group, Don? Come on.
It was the Deaf Boys. That's what it was. And
DEF, right?
And they used to wear. They would come out with like MC Hammer pants on and put oil on and stuff and do that dance like that.
Hey, break us down a little bit of that old Deaf Boy stuff, Don.
What do we do?
And then he transferred from sectional rap. My wife taught me that word. Sectional rap.
That's spelled with a C.
Yeah.
SECTIONAL.
To Christian rap, and they were SOC, Soldiers of Christ, and they were, throwing out some bangers back then. Back in the day, boy, they was hoorahing for Jesus.
So now wait a minute, Don. You're also kind of one of these guys though that grew up with the rougher shuffle.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then you have kind of been a part of this most recent rap of rougher ball. And I know you really got into that. We saw some of your moves up at Ponca City when that game went 0-0 and we were going under the championship game.
Yes. And my younger brother, Lonnie Barker, made the song Who's Tougher Than a Rougher. So we've been in music for a long time. But anyway, back to your segment there, Bill.
Still waiting on that Grammy Award to come in their way. That is for sure. Now, I get the fortunate opportunity most times on the road of sharing the booth right next to the coach's booth.
Yes.
Anthony and Don, and one of the most memorable nights in the press box was a cold night in Ponca City.
Yes. Yes.
I'm telling you, when it went 0-0 and the Ruffers knew for the first time in 37 years we were going to the championship game, I don't know who was more excited, Anthony McNack or Donald Mays. Settle that argument for me, guys.
I was pretty excited. I was
pretty
happy.
excited. You weren't pretty, but you were daggum sure excited.
I mean, we thought we were going to come out there glass and bonk and see.
Yeah. We were so excited that the first time that two big men, well, he's a little bit more than me, but we embraced. I mean, we hugged. And
you tried to put your arms around him.
tried to. We hugged, and we, he just felt. I mean, it felt like my grandma. It felt like I was hugging my grandma all back again. I felt safe.
That night, we all enjoyed the embracing with one another, though, because we were finally accomplishing the goal that had been just an eyelash short, Anthony, 6 previous times.
Yeah. It was. I think I was more nervous the semifinals game than I was the state championship game. Because I'm sitting there looking, trying to call down something. I looked down at my hand, and I was just shaking. I was like, I couldn't let Don.
So that's why the press box was shaking, because you were shaking so hard.
Well, it was, but then I looked down, and Don was doing. I kept hearing him doing, like, counting his head, 1, 2, 1, 2, and I looked over. He was doing the Sierra. Let me see you 1, 2. He was doing that up under the thing, and I didn't understand why he was doing that.
Okay,
I just couldn't figure that out.
Obviously, we have ventured away from the standard coaches segment between Anthony and Don here tonight. But guys, here's a fact, and I think most of our viewers and listeners know, you guys have both not only played football, but now you've had your own sons come through the program.
Yes.
Harder to be a coach of your own son, be on the staff with your own son playing, or harder to be a player?
To me, it's harder with your son on the staff, because you gotta separate coach and father, and a lot of times those overlap. You try not to get them to overlap, but sometimes they just do, and that's, to me, that would be the hardest.
Same thing for you, Don?
Yeah, pretty much. When my son played, Coach Dvorak was his receiver coach, and so of course I trusted Coach Dvorak. When my son come to me, he dropped some balls, and hey, hush that up. Go talk to your coach. I mean, so it was fun, and when we went home, I took the coach hat off. I mean, if he wanted to talk about football, we talked about it, but if he didn't, we didn't. So,
and that I know the same thing goes for you and Junior.
I try to talk to him when we get home as less about football as we possibly can. I talk to him about his schoolwork or what happened in school or just different things, just to get away from that, because I don't want to be, I'm still a coach, but in that moment, just let me be your dad at this moment, and you be my son, and let's just work on it that way.
And for the three of us who've had our own kids come through programs here at Muskogee High School, it doesn't matter what the final score is. When it's all said and done, there's still a big heart pride beating inside.
Yes, without question.
Yes.
Hey, guys, this has been a long – we could go an hour, but I don't know that we don't have that much time tonight, because we got 3 big guys over here right behind the table waiting for their time. We're going to take a short time out. When we come back, we're going to let Don and Anthony switch places.
Yes.
We're going to actually put Anthony with his chicken down on the other end. He can go to work on trying to devour this monster-sized piece of meat. And we'll bring in one of the running backs who has kind of come of age. And we'll talk with Marquise Chaplin along with Don Mays, running backs coach, when we continue live from Runts Barbecue here in Muskogee.
Hi folks, Kyle Edwards, GMC in Muskogee. I was born and raised in Muskogee. Our family has owned the GMC dealership for over 50 years. We take great pride in being in the Muskogee community. Things have changed over the years, but one thing remains the same: our desire to take care of our customers. Looking for a new GMC truck or SUV? We've got them, and you have our commitment to give you the best buying experience around. From sales, parts, or service, we are here for you. You have my promise to give you the best selection, best price, and the most for your trade-in at 1600 North Main in Muskogee or KyleEdwardsGMC.com.
Pain is temporary, pride is forever. At Excel Therapy, we want to be your athlete's advocate for excellence. We offer treatment methods that focus on strengthening muscles and improving flexibility to improve your overall performance. And when injury sets in, Excel Therapy can aid in the recovery process. We know it's important to get back in the game, so trust the comeback experts, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. With 16 locations and no physician referral required, you can begin healing today. Look for us online at exceltherapyok.com.
Well, the comedy show of this half-hour program is over, at least for the time being. We're going to talk a little bit more serious about rougher football and kids young men that make things happen on the field. And Don Mays, I know the guy between the two of us, is making things happen at our running back spot, Marquise Chaplin.
Yes. Marquise, I could say a lot of stuff about Marquise. Marquise has stood the test of time here at being a rougher. He came in as a sophomore, but he was behind Brandon Tolbert. The next year he comes in, we think, okay, Chap, this is your time to shine. Well, then we have a move in come in with PJ. And again, he still got a little time. But now his senior year, he gets a chance to showcase his talent. And I'm excited about that.
Champ, how much has this season been the one you've been dreaming of?
It's been a lot to me. I couldn't wait. Since I was a sophomore, I always looked up to Tolbert, PJ. I watched the way they ran, everything, just followed them. And now I'm just trying to show my skills.
When you're watching game film as a running back, what things are you watching? What things are you studying when you look at the opposing defenses?
I'm trying to study, like, the way they're moving, like, little things. If they have a habit. Like, I remember seeing somebody playing before they'd move their toe twice whenever they would go a certain way. And I just look at those things.
How to look for those tendencies, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so now talk to me about how you prepare yourself for a ball game and how you, when you come out of the huddle or you look over at the sideline and Coach Fine and Coach Pirtle are flashing in the signals and you know the ball's coming your way. How do you not break that smile out that often breaks out of your face when you know the ball's in your hand?
Yeah, I'll be happy.
So how do you not show that, though, when you're lining up, next to Kaysen and waiting on the signal count, knowing you're going to get the ball handed to you?
I just keep my game face on. I don't want the opposing team to read me in any type of way. So,
let me just say this, your game face is a lot better looking than the one to your left.
Oh, most definitely.
Most definitely. See, he's fitting right into the character of tonight's one. I want you to describe yourself as a ball carrier because we've seen a guy that just doesn't take the ball and run it right in the hole. You've powered through some holes and getting yards after contact, but then you've broken out of tackles, sprinted to the outside, and picked up big yardage.
Yes, I'll definitely say I've had my trouble with reading holes and stuff and just staying patient. But since I'm having this coach, and he's been teaching me, telling me to stay patient, every single day he's in my ear telling me to stay patient, so I'm just listening.
Don, as a running backs coach, what words of advice can you give to Marquise Chaplin as we get to the final two games of the year with Sapulpa this Friday night and then a week later senior night for this guy and several others at home against Putnam City North? What are the things that you, through the ear hole or eyeball to eyeball, share with this guy?
Just like, what I've shared with him since he was a sophomore. Go dominate. Do what we've done in practice. Don't try to do anything else. Taking a deep breath, go ball out. Run the green grass. Let's go.
What's the player that you most emulate when you're as a running back? What player have you seen play football, high school, college, or pro, that Marquise Chaplin wants to be more like every day?
I'm sorry you didn't see me play, but go. You can name somebody.
Yeah,
else.
well, you'd have to go back to black and white films because that's all they had available back then. There was nothing in color.
I'd say definitely growing up and stuff. My cousin Jimmy, he was starting running back. He was somebody I always looked up to. Same with my brother, Maurice. They both had really good different skill levels and talents. They had their own ways of running the ball, and I just studied both. And I try my hardest to emulate both of them.
Well, we're looking for big yardage from your Friday night, my man. Let's go scorch up that blue turf over at
Sir, I'm going to make it happen.
We're going to take another break, and when we come back, we'll take Marquise and give him a timeout, let Don go recuperate himself because I know he has to be exhausted as old as he is, even though he's not as old as me. Well, after this timeout, though, we'll bring in Anthony McNack along with two of his big hogs that play on both sides of the line that create a big, massive humanity and create some heck of a collisions when they go up against their opponents. We'll talk with Devon Nero and also Malachi Hopkins as we continue our Tuesday night coaches show live from Runts Barbecue in Muskogee.
In sports, having the right winning strategy is often the difference between winning and losing. The same is true when you need legal representation. For more than 15 years, the law offices of Michael A. Finnerty have successfully provided the winning strategy with excellence and integrity for the people of the Muskogee area in matters of personal injury, social security disability, and workers' compensation issues. The law office, Muskogee trusts Michael A. Finnerty, ready to develop a winning strategy. Michael A. Finnerty, 436 Court Street in Muskogee. Call 687-1155. Online at finnertylaw.com.
Runts Barbecue serves up hand-rubbed, slow-cooked goodness. Anytime you're feeding a few hundred, hey, we're just tailgating with friends. Call the experts, Runts Barbecue. Ribs, brisket, burnt ends, mouth-watering hot link, and smoked chicken, where everything is made from scratch, from the barbecue sauce to the banana pudding. Give us a try, and you won't be disappointed. Runts Barbecue, 918-681-3900. Runts Barbecue, slow-cooked goodness in Muskogee.
Welcome back to Runts Barbecue. It's not the Tuesday night normal coaches show. Dale Condict out with the 8th and 9th graders as they continue to compete tonight at home against Sand Springs in the regular season finale for those two teams. And Anthony, you grew up, played through the junior high levels, although it was at that West High and not AR. But it was two Muskogee teams that joined together. Now 8th and 9th graders, they're all as one. That's got to be an advantage.
Oh yeah, because now you get to start playing together early instead of waiting until when I came through your freshman year before you got on one team. When Don was playing, it was their sophomore year because back then they only did 3 grades in high school. Mm-hmm. That's great. That's a great deal of advantage to that, to get the kids at an early age together, playing together.
The guys between us, I mean, this is the first time all season long I've felt like the smallest guy at the table. I look at Devon Narrow, offensive left guard, right?
Yes, sir.
Am I correct? And then Malachi Hopkins on the defensive side. You guys kind of take up a great deal of space on that offensive front. How do you use that to your advantage? Malachi, we'll start with you.
On the offensive?
Yeah.
You don't play offense.
No. How do you use your size for your advantage against your opponent?
Oh, see, I'm a lot shorter than all of them. So me being explosive helps me a lot.
All right. Devon, how do you try to dominate that opposing defensive lineman and put him on his shoulders or on his behind and create the gap for Chapter run through or the offensive play just to continue for success?
I say defense-wise, I try to use my explosiveness, my hands.
Okay. Anthony, you watch each and every one of these young men on both sides of the football. Talk to me about the strength that these guys bring to the rougher lineup.
Well, I'll say this. When my son first started playing football, he was on their team, and it was second or third grade?
Yeah.
And that's in the INFC, right?
Yeah, it was an INFC. So
once a rougher, always a rougher.
Yeah. So I've been knowing both of these guys, and Devon, just along with Marquise, are my cousins. They're Magnacs as well. My grandfather, his great-grandmother, and his great-grandmother are brothers and sisters. So I've been in these guys' life, and they've been in mine for years. So I've seen the growth from where they started at. I've even seen the part with Malachi, in 8th grade, thought he was a running back and, didn't want to put his hand on the ground almost. I had to holler and fuss about that. Malachi, you're not going to be running the ball when you get older now. You got to learn how to put your hand back on the ground. And even when Devon was out there trying to play point guard on the basketball team in middle school.
See, you guys get no respect.
But in all serious, they pretty much set it up. Malachi, his skill set is pretty unique because, yes, he is probably one of the shortest one, but Malachi is one of the top bench pressers on the team. What's
that level for you? What's that PR for you on the bench?
350.
350 pounds. That's about 50 pounds lighter than Coach Magnac. Am I right?
No, not even close. Not even close. But
never mind.
He has a quick step. He has great hands. We had a little setback at the start of the year, with a leg injury, and he's worked his way back from the leg injury, and he's back in the rotation, and he's really playing some good ball for us. And Devon Nero, I've said this for years, he has one of the quickest first steps I've seen out of any lineman to ever come through Muskogee. He uses his strength, his size, his leverage, and hands better than a lot of guys that I've seen that went to play at a higher level. And it just amazes me to sit and watch them when they go and they play to their capability. They dominate anybody in front of them, offensively and defensive side of the ball.
Malachi, we were talking with Chap a moment ago, and you heard me ask him what he watches on game film when studying the opponents. From your defensive lineman position, what are you evaluating when you study the huddle films and try to isolate where you can gain an advantage against your offensive line opponent?
You better be watching me.
Like our opponents, like
when you're watching the opponent, when you're watching game film of the opponent, say studying for the matchup against Sapulpa, what things are you looking for when you look at that opposing group, offensive linemen, where you can take advantage over them and with the lineman's block and get to the quarterback or stuff the running back in the hole?
really like their first steps, or to see if they're pulling or not. Double teams, that's a big one.
How aggressive is this defensive front? Because from time to time, there's some. Mama told me never to cuss him on the radio, but this is, Anthony, you'll agree with me. There's been some hellacious contact.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, what is it like to hear that thunder come together because you guys are the aggressor?
See, I've been playing with them for a long time, and it didn't get like that until we came up with Coach Macknack and them our sophomore year, and it goes.
It's there now.
Yeah.
Devon, offensive lineman, and Anthony can relate to this. Through the years, we've seen offensive linemen that like to bury their defensive line opponent,
right,
and lay on top of them.
Right.
You ever like to do that?
I do. I like the adrenaline.
You like the
Yes,
adrenaline rush. Okay, so how do you accomplish that?
I'd say by just doing my assignment, blocking the assignment, finishing through.
Harder to protect in pass blocking, or to just knock the opposing guy out of the way and create the running game for Chap? I mean, you like the pass block or run block game?
I like pass blocking better.
Why?
It helps when you're very tired. And I just like the. I just like pass blocking.
All right,
I just
guys.
like the pass block.
I mean, this is it's do or die time now. I mean, to accomplish the goal the Ruffers want is to have that first round playoff game at home and get the bye. You realize what's on the line Friday night. So what do the Ruffers have to do? Malachi, we'll start with you.
Get the win.
Then any way, shape, form, or fashion?
Just get the win.
All right, Devon, how about you?
I say just study, watch film.
Kind of like the pastor told you Sunday, spend more time in the Bible, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, spend more time in the game film between now and then so that when the whistle blows and the lights come on over at Sapulpa, Muskogee's ready to go get that W.
Yes, sir.
Devon Nero, Malachi Hopkins, along with Anthony Macknack, our guest here in this segment. We'll come back to wrap it up with a little sneak preview of Sapulpa with the Macknack and Mays Show, live from Runts Barbecue here on the Tuesday Night Coaches Show.
Pioneer Abstract, proudly serving residential and commercial customers throughout Muskogee County since 1905. Serving banks, mortgage companies, and mortgage brokers with refinancing, purchase, 1031 tax-deferred exchanges, along with full escrow services and more. Pioneer Abstract offers the convenience of centralized services for escrow accounts, title insurance, and title searches. Pioneer Abstract, here yesterday, here today, and here tomorrow at 412 West Broadway in downtown Muskogee, or call Pioneer Abstract at 683-2904.
My brother and sister left me again. They went back to school. Can you believe that? But don't worry, they still call me every morning, thanks to their brand new phones from Bravado Wireless. My sister even dropped hers in the pool, but Bravado's trade-in help has her covered. And my brother, he's flexing with the new iPhone 16 Pro Max. Like, how cool is that? Mom and Dad got deals too. Bravado's unlimited plan saved the whole family money.
A super time to buy September savings at J. Hodge Chevrolet in Muskogee. Buy a new Silverado 1500, take $10,000 off MSRP. Shop over 60 used from $16,965. September savings top the list. Don't overpay. Come see Jay. New Silverado, 10 grand off. Over 60 used from $16,965. At J. Hodge Chevrolet in Muskogee. 144 West Shawnee.
This land was a tapestry of Indian nations and tiny towns that grew into great cities. Bank First is loyal to the shared mission of growth and success that built Oklahoma. That's why in more than 50 communities statewide, our banks are run by local leaders who stick together and work hard to continue unlocking Oklahoma's great promise. Bank First, loyal to Oklahoma, loyal to you.
Back at Runts Barbecue for our concluding segment on the Tuesday Night Coaches Show. We'll talk about our opponent coming up this Friday night on the road as Muskogee goes in a must-win situation against Sapulpa. The Chieftains still undefeated in league play. The Ruffers had that one setback, but with the win would kind of have the advantage if it came down to a tiebreaker. But before we do that, I'm going to go back to Anthony McNack. You were talking about Devon and his family relationship to you. Mm-hmm. I think he's got the McNack gene. Because talk to me about how he destroyed those Tiger Buzz.
Yeah, I've been here and been watching the radio show for this is 8 weeks. We've been doing, and been different players come in and order the big thing of loaded fries, whatever they call them, and nobody has gotten to the bottom. And I look, and Devon is at the bottom.
Devon devoured the Tiger Fries.
It is at the bottom. So
the Cowboy Fries.
Yeah, Dominique, you and your wife to be proud. Y'all ain't got to feed that boy tonight because
I just hope
he's not hungry.
I just hope Donnie can move tomorrow.
Listen, I'm telling you.
All right, let me ask you one other question. We talked about growing up as a Ruffer, and we talked about you guys watching as young guys, waiting for your turn to wear the green and white. You also had brothers that played.
Yes.
Okay. Anthony, you had two brothers that played.
Yes.
Okay. Of the three McNacks, truth, mama listening, holding you accountable, who's the best of the three?
Who's the best out of me, Arthur, Prentice? Well, I mean,
you, Prentice.
Me, Prentice, and Arthur. Well, Arthur. I mean,
remember, mama's listening?
Yeah, she's listening. I mean, we've had this conversation before. I'm kind of glad you asked me that question on live on there because, I mean, it's hard to start at the top. Everybody got to work their way up. There's only a handful as they would start at the top. Me, Michael Jordan, Bernie Mac.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, I'm turning this mic on. But we didn't say this is not. We're not evaluating an eating contest. We're talking about football players.
But I would say that Arthur and Prentice were the better football players. I was a better athlete because Arthur played linebacker and running back from Little League on through. Prentice played running back, linebacker, D-line, where I played quarterback, wide receiver, safety, corner, linebacker. I was able to play multiple positions.
And you played for what Paul Young Football League team?
The Muskogee Browns.
The Browns, okay.
The Browns.
All right, now, same question to you, Don. You had a twin brother.
Mm-hmm. And I also had a younger brother, Lonnie Barker.
That's right,
He played.
Okay, so the three of you guys, Truth Serum.
Truth Serum.
On your mama's grave, okay? Talk to me. Truth Serum, who's the best athlete of the bunch?
The best athlete of the bunch. Well, I'm just gonna say Mary Jo Mays. She didn't raise no scrubs. She didn't raise no scrubs.
All right, so
I'm going to
Mr.
say,
Politician,
yes,
Mr. Mayor,
yes,
quit dodging the question. Of the three, which one's the best?
Okay.
Truth Serum.
The best is Don Mays Sr. Period. There you go.
Okay. Somebody call the police because I think we've just been violated.
Call his brother.
Call his brother because his brother's a policeman. And I'm not going to mess with that guy. Okay, now, we've had our fun here tonight.
Yeah.
Let's wrap up the show and talk seriously because there is some serious nature still to be decided between now and Friday night in the preparation for, as we've already said a couple times, a must-win situation. How do you not let yourself get too hyped up, too worried about that, Don, and keep your calm, cool, and open view to that situation and being ready when the lights do come on, the referee's whistle blows, then you come out full force?
Well, the biggest thing for us is just continue to get better, 1%, 1%, 1%. We still haven't reached our full potential yet. And so we're just going to keep grinding and working on us. And by doing that, that's going to show off and pay off there in the end.
Okay. Now, studying the opponent's game film and looking at what Sapulpa does defensively, what's the strength of the Chieftains' defense?
Oh, listen, their D-line, they have a great D-line. They're very active. They do a lot of movement. Secondary is pretty good. So we're going to have our work cut out for us. I mean, this is not just show up and they give you the win. No, we're going to have to go and play some rougher football.
Anthony, how about on the defensive side? You've studied all the game film along with Travis and the whole defensive war room. What have you seen strengths in Sapulpa's offense that have allowed them to put up points and still remain undefeated in league play?
Well, Sapulpa reminds me of a team that when I played and when Don played, they're not too flashy. They just do what they do and they do it well. They're going to run the ball right at you. They're going to play action. You try to get you out of sync, try to get your safeties to come down in the box and go over top. They got a good quarterback, some good receivers. Running back is a decent running back. I mean, he can make things happen. Their O-line is good. They move. They're very active. So we got a work cut out for us going up against Sapulpa at home, which will probably be their senior night, I believe.
It is.
So they're going to be pumped up, and they have a chance to do something good at their place. So we have to come in and make sure that we don't let our highs get too high and our lows not get too low, and just keep playing rougher football. And like May said, we're still working on us. We're still getting to the point to where we're not ready to peak yet, but we're right at that point to where we can peak.
Ready to start climbing the hill.
Yes.
Absolutely. The Ruffers will look to take a big step up that hill Friday night when they go to Sapulpa. It's a 7 o'clock kickoff. We'll be on the air with our pregame countdown to kickoff at 6:30 on Ruffer TV, as well as on our radio partner, Okie Country 1017 KTFX. And here is an update on the recruiting of Coach Dale Condict. I just get this update. He has identified a couple of 4-star recruits out of that 8th grade ball game because the Ruffers have got a 26-0 scoreboard advantage at halftime.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
I'd like to see 26-0 Ruffers at halftime on Friday night.
Well, we're going to show up, put the best foot forward.
Now, ASCAP won't let us do this. BMI won't let us do this, too, because we'd like to hear something from the DEF boys before we got out of here.
Deaf boys.
Yeah.
The Deaf boys.
Yeah.
Well, we're in retirement right now, so
just give us a little taste.
Didn't y'all used to sing that song, Friends? How many of us have this?
Thank you all for tuning in to Ruffer TV.
Before we crash the internet with humility and laughter, I'm Bill Huddleston. For Anthony McNack, for Donald Mays Sr., for our trio of Ruffers tonight, Marquise Chaplin, Devon Nero, who annihilated the Cowboy Fries, and also for Malachi Hopkins. We thank you for joining us tonight here from Runts Barbecue, for putting up with this half hour plus of good, just Ruffer fun. It's been a blast, guys.
It's been a blast.
It has been a blast, and Dale Condict will be back next
Coach
week.
Condict.
You bet, yeah. They paid him to be here tonight, so that's the NIL money that Coach Condict got.
Exactly.
Exactly. Invite you, don't forget, Friday night, join us in person at Sapulpa for the Ruffers against the Chieftains. If you can, of course, join us here on Ruffer TV. Until then, as always, it's a great day to be a Ruffer.
In times of need, it's comforting to see faces of people you know and trust. Cornerstone Funeral Home in Muskogee cherishes the opportunity to be there for you and your family in life's most challenging times, when friends are most important. Cornerstone Funeral Home and Crematory welcomes the opportunity to answer any questions regarding planning and pre-arrangements for you and your loved ones. Experience the difference. Cornerstone Funeral Home, 1830 North York in Muskogee, where you'll find faces you know and reputations you trust.